This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Coach, when he was talking about some of the calls, and especially the one in the end zone, listen, I could. First of all, let's talk a little bit about Fitz. I think it's gotten out of control, the slamming of Fitz after yesterday. You're lazy if you just look at the 3 interceptions and say he played a terrible game. He threw 3 interceptions. He threw 1 interception. The second one was a freaking terrible interception. He did not see the DB sitting in the zone, and he got fooled completely, and that's it. It's over. That's all on Fitz. The first one, Preston Williams fell. He's fighting for positioning, and his ass falls down, and what's the name of Samuel? Is it no, not Samuel? What's the name of the DB?
Was it Gilmore?
Gilmore
On the first
Stephon
one, he pushed him. He kind of pushed him down, though.
Well, you're fighting for position. You're a big kid. Let's go, bro.
Yeah, but you were 10, 11, 12 yards. You're not supposed to. The defender is not to touch after 5.
Yeah.
I mean, there was more mugging going on than back in the day bump and run.
Yeah.
Because when the ball's in the air back in the day, you weren't allowed to touch him anymore. Bro, the ball was in the air, and they were mugging our guys.
On the Williams DB, the DB from New England, he had a forearm push on that one.
Yes.
And then the Gesicki one, they were holding his ass. They took Gesicki out of the play.
The guy went up under his arms and just basically bear hugged, like ran right into him and hugged him.
Completely. So Gesicki never had a shot. They took him out of the play. That's why the other DB ended up getting it. I don't blame Fitz for 2 of the 3 interceptions. So, you could sit there lazily and say, oh, no, he was terrible. No, he wasn't. Now, he wasn't great, but the other guys weren't great either. They did not step up at times. They didn't get separation. They didn't get open. You know what I mean? So I have to blame everybody there. Things almost falling. Coming apart.
Oh, dude, that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
We're about to get into some major games. We don't need any heat falling.
Anyway, so I look at that, and to me, I just think sometimes people complain to complain. You know what I mean? It's and you just look at the stats. Oh, well, the 3 interceptions. Oh, he sucked. Or if you just lazily watched the game, you didn't really pay attention. I can't blame him for 2 of those 3 interceptions. Okay, if it was all 3 on him, then I tell you it was all on him. But it wasn't, unfortunately. That's why when I look at this game and the mistakes that were, Jerome Baker had a hell of a game with 16 tackles, right? A lot of them downfield. All right, let's go. Because they're running on your ass. They're gaining all these yards. You're not getting any tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Everybody's making tackles way past the line of scrimmage. But in Baker's case, the hit he got on Cam? Well, he got that hit on Cam because he was late on that play. He was supposed to be there earlier to help seal the end, and he wasn't. And he reacted late, and then he had to get there, and then that's when it ends up with the hit on Cam. And whether he scores or not, and I don't care about that. That to me doesn't really matter. And when it's all said and done, he had the 2 penalties also that were bad. He had some moments, man. I mean, forcing the fumble he was late on that play.
Intentional. He grabbed those arms and ripped to have the ball come out, man.
But he was late on that play.
Yes, he was.
That's
why he's tackling behind him.
You know what Jerome Baker did on that play when he fumbled? Those of you that are not old enough, I apologize, but he Chuck Carr'd the thing. Now, Chucky Carr was a center fielder for the Marlins. Chucky Carr did not read the ball very well, okay? But he was so freaking fast and athletic that even when he broke late on the ball, he would still sometimes get to it, but he would have to make this spectacular catch. And some people would go, wow, what an amazing catch. And yeah, it was an amazing catch, but he forced himself into an amazing catch because he read it wrong, he made a wrong play, and then he had to make up for it, and he would make up for it in just, Chucky Carr fashion. And that's what Jerome Baker did on that strip play. He was late on a play where he was supposed to be and then had to make up for it, and he Chucky Carr'd it. Okay? He played well yesterday. He had a whole bunch of tackles, but nobody was making a bunch of tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Nobody was tackling people with a yard or two right after the line of scrimmage. You know what I'm saying? So everybody that had tackles yesterday, they were making them, couple yards
The weakest
downfield.
area of our game was our run defense.
Yeah, no, it was bad.
That was that was number one weakness.
It was bad.
Of the day.
It was bad. It was bad. There's no way around it. But that's what game one is all about. And so now we have to give the coach, we have to give the players an opportunity to adjust to all of this. Okay? And then maybe the next time they face the Patriots, Cam won't be nearly as successful. And the screwed up part is we know it was predictable by Cam and the Patriots. Like you knew they were going to run the hell out of the ball. The man threw for 155 yards? Yeah, 15 of 19, 155 yards, no touchdowns. His touchdowns were both on the ground. So you knew it was coming, and yet you couldn't stop it. Okay, because you knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. The Dolphins players knew it was coming. The coaches knew it was coming. They prepared for it. They just couldn't get it done.
He completed as many passes as he had rushes, 15.
Yeah. And so, but again, it's just to overreact on a 10-point loss when you made all the mistakes that you made in that game and you still cut it to 3 at one moment. I'm not going to overreact, my brother. I can't. Last year, I saw a team that lost 59-10. And then the following week to these Patriots, not the same team, but still 43-0. You give up 102 points in 2 weeks. Now that's concern. And yet, having said all that, if you all remember the show last year at this time, I was not freaking out about it.
Amazingly enough, you weren't. No.
No. And then in week 3, we started to see progress, and I started to point out that progress and how it got better and better. Even though they were losing, I kept pointing out the progress. Okay.
Dallas week 3.
And then
at halftime, we made adjustments,
Exactly.
man. From there, you could see we would spot a team 15, 17 minutes the first beginning of the game, but after that,
right,
adjustments made.
Right.
And played even.
So to think that you were going to pick up from week 17 after you made all those changes and no offseason, and all of a sudden you're just going to, it's not the case. But we do have to at least give the coach and the players the benefit of the doubt that they can improve from what they did yesterday. Because so far, that's been Brian Flores' track record. Okay? And not everything. I thought Wilkins had his moments too. I like what I saw from Wilkins on the D line. The young offensive lineman I thought did a really good job overall. Myles Gaskins did well. Byron Jones did well. It wasn't like they were burning our secondary left and right. They did their damage in the middle of the field. They did their damage up the middle in the run game. You know what I mean? It's just one of those deals. So it wasn't. I can't sit here and oh my God, I'm on suicide watch now or something. I'm not doing that. After a 10-point loss on the road, they made all the big mistakes, and they still had a shot in that game, cutting it to 3. I'm not doing that, man. I know that. Put it this way: they were a lot farther away, 102-10 in the first 2 weeks than they are right now at 21-11.
That's exactly what I was going to point out. Look, the only area that guys had worked really together were Fitz with Gesicki, Williams, and Devontae Parker. Everywhere else on our team, 2 new backs, 4 new offensive linemen. Our defensive line new, linebackers new. Our secondary, them guys didn't play together.
No.
We had rookies and practice squad guys the last 6 games. None of our units, except for receivers and quarterback, had worked together. It's all new, man.